Hello and welcome back, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. This one is on the Skirmish event, and this one is for low levels. It's actually for all levels, okay? I'm going to do the recruit set, and then I'm going to do the officer set. And I'm going to show you that the recruit set is probably not the way to go, okay? The recruit set, this is my first time doing the recruit set. And so I wasn't prepared for it. If you don't know, I record the video first and then I do a voiceover. So the recruit set caught me off guard because the number 2 base didn't seem like it was going to cause me that much damage. And I ended up taking a little bit of damage, but that's okay because I wanted to show you guys. This is for low levels, and you're probably going to take some damage, and I want to show you how to deal with that, okay? So this first base, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. No damage yet. You know, you're going to take a little bit of damage from the Overwatch, but there's really only a couple of tanks in the back left corner of this number 1 base. But the rewards aren't worth it. Don't do the recruit set. If you watch this video, I can show you how to do the officer set, because really all you need is cannons. That's all you need, and you need maybe one Cosmortar or maybe one Gus. You don't need a Gus. Um, Really, all you need is um, one Cosmortar to kill some tanks on the level 2 officer base. I'll show you about, I'll give you detailed information about that. And what I've done is I broke my platoons up into 4 separate platoons. This is going to help you. You may not need to do this, but it will help you because the damage that you'll take, and I didn't repair that on purpose because I wanted to see, I wanted to take it back to my base to see how many seconds it was damage. And it turns out it's like less than a second because it instantly repairs. Now look, I'll just hit start repair. I don't hit instant repair. I hit start repair, and then when I got in there, I didn't even see any damage. So I was a little bit surprised from this number 2 base. And remember, there's no shame in ending attack, okay? Because it's designed for the number 1 and the number 2 base to be able to end attack. You see, there's no damage, and even though all I did was hit start repair. So here's another trick here. I have 5 platoons that I can deploy 2 cannons from. Well, actually, 4 platoons that I can deploy 2 cannons from, and 1 platoon that I can deploy my Oxford and 1 cannon. So I'll move this one back because I don't really need him right now. I don't only need the 4 platoons for this number 2 base. And what I should have done here is ended attack. But I was like, well, the number 1 base for the officer set is similar to this as far as a bunch of things coming at you. And I survived that without taking any damage. So I thought, yeah, I'll be okay here. But the problem is you have helicopters and a bunch of guys, and they are coming very quick, and you're deployed right in the middle of them. And so they have already killed my ghosts, and so I started to take damage. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I realized that more ghosts were coming out, so I realized, hey, they caused damage to me. So let me go back to the base and sort of fix that so before I come back and hit it again. And this will show you what I'm talking about, how you can have units in repair and it won't matter. You can still go back out and hit another base. So this is kind of like showing you how to do that. So we'll start that one. And And by the time I get done with this attack, that one should be done, and then we can start the other one. And by the time we get done with that one, it should be done. Or you can take them out individually, okay, and repair them one by one also. But this is just showing you different options of how you can do that. Sometimes if it's like 6 minutes and I've already got another platoon, I really don't want to take it out of that platoon and repair it individually. Or sometimes you're going to take damage on one unit that is more um, than 5 minutes, and then you don't have a choice as far as repairing goes. You have to just repair that one individually and go do another attack. Um, so that's kind of why I'm glad um, that I can add that into this video and show you. But really, this second base isn't that hard. It was just the first time that I did it, and I wasn't prepared for that. So if you're having a problem with this second base, just end attack and get your free repair and start over, right? So yeah, it's really no big deal on that. And as long as you see what I'm doing, I'm controlling um, everything and trying to stay out of harm's way, essentially. Sometimes you'll see that like where they won't all repair, and so just go ahead and click the individual unit as well. And another reason I wanted to come back is I thought this one unit was done repairing, and then I could come back and do the other one. Well, it wasn't fully repaired. There's still like a few seconds on it, so I switched it to the one that has a longer repair time, and that way I won't be coming back to a full repair. I just have a few seconds on that other one, right? So now we get a like a fresh start, and we can come in here and clear the space. But believe me, the officer set is easier. This number two base is a little bit more um, difficult than I think it should be at the beginning part there. The rest of the base is very, very easy. Um, just control yourself. Don't do it on Ruby. You might be able to get away with Ruby on it once the initial uh, group comes out and attacks you, but probably I would say you're better to control it like I am. I haven't seen too many bad things inside of the towers. The towers don't seem to be a problem on this one. On this one, it's really just the tanks and the helicopters too, because the helicopters have multi-shot and they have a very long range and they shoot you um, and they shock you and it does quite a bit of damage. So try to get those helicopters at the greatest distance possible. Try not to allow them to get too close to you. Um, and as long as you have enough orange ghosts out in front of you, they should shoot the orange ghosts first. Um, and then you got two more helicopters down here in the left corner, or in the the back center area, and that's it for base two. And again, we are gonna get out of here with instant repair. Let's see here, and then we can go back to the base, and by now that other unit that we started should be repaired. And remember, we need to rebuild our mercs. I haven't seen this number three base. I'm doing this blind. Um, so with anything, the more you do it, the better you're going to get. So if you do want to do the recruit set, you'll get better as you go. And yeah, and other than like taking kind of a quite of a bit of a surprise on that number two base, I think we're doing okay. And specifically, remember, number one base, number two base, you can quit. Number three base, you can't quit. So this one we have to finish it. So if you get into trouble, and they do start to come out here quite fast from two sides. So if you get into trouble, just retreat. Um, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to retreat because they're coming out uh, maybe not too fast, but I didn't want to take any more damage. So I was just being careful. And yes, I've done the officer set over and over and over again, so I got pretty good at it, you know. And I'm going to do the officer set here. I'm going to show you the officer set. And the officer set, the thing I like about the officer set is that it's about as quick as doing the number one and the number two base here. And it's more straightforward. You don't have to retreat. You know, it's very unlikely that you're going to take damage on officer one. And it's also very unlikely that you're going to take very much damage on officer two if you do it the way that I show you. But even if you do, the damage that you're going to take is going to should still be free repair. Um, and and then here's another trick. Okay, like as I'm doing the officer set two, right? If I take a little bit of damage where I can't instantly repair it, then I put that one in a platoon, and then I go do officer set one because officer set one is super. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Reliable, and I haven't taken any damage. Usually, like 99% of the time on officer one, I get instant repair. So while I'm out with my other four platoons attacking officer one, then I've got one platoon in in my bastion, and I'm um, repairing it, right? And then most of the time, um, you'll get instant repair on officers one. But if you don't, it should still be free repair. And I'll show you that because here at the end, I will take a little bit of damage on officers one, which is like weird. I don't know why. It's the first time since I've been doing the event that I took any damage, and it just happened to be I was making a video. So I don't know why it happened, but occasionally you're going to get that because there is something called RNG, and all the attacks aren't going to be the same. This game used to be a little bit different, and you could like precision get the exact same results time and time again. But now they've changed it, and the units are they have a little bit different AI, and they start going for they've changed the priority of what they're going to attack, and they've also changed the way that they attack. They also have multi attack and the fire or move and shoot, so that they can hit the first thing that they see. And even like, see that guy? I had all those orange ghosts in front, right? They still shot the blue fireball into my tanks, even though I had all those orange ghosts, and the orange ghosts were clearly closer, right? He still chose to shoot my tanks. Um, so if you can, try to get your orange ghost off to the side. See, he had an opportunity to shoot my orange ghost, and he chose not to. He woke up and he chose violence, I guess. Um, but so this number three base is kind of nice um, because you've got all these walls, and everything's sort of not isolated, but separated, segmented, right? So you can go around and do this base section by section without having to deal with too many attacking units at one time. And going around to the back like this is something I recommend. And as you can see, I really didn't see anything in those towers. And so usually I'm like fearful of towers because the tower gives a bonus. However, what I think is in there is some kind of anti-air, or else they're empty. I haven't scouted them, so I don't know. But and this is my very first attack on any recruit set. You're looking at it right here, and I'm not going to do another one because it's not worth it. Um, and I also checked online to see if there was any other people out there that were putting the recruit set out. I normally do, but I really just didn't feel like doing it because I feel like everyone should be able to do the officer set. But just in case, I mean, just so I complete the set, I do like always do the recruit and the officer set, or the commander and the regular one. So uh, I decided to go ahead and make this, but I did not see anything online. There's nothing. Nobody else out there did the recruit set either. So um, this might be the only recruit set video out there. But this is not just the recruit set. Okay, I'm going to do the recruit, and then we're going to go ahead immediately and go and do the officer set. So one other thing about the officer set, of course, I've mentioned it before, but it does have a much better um, XP payout. Okay, so it's way better rewards. Um, and the fact that it only has the two bases, I hope they keep that way. The fact that it has the two bases means you can grind, and it's not, because man, it gets so bad when you have to do so many bases. It just gets so boring. Like it really sometimes makes me think I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't care about the unit that much, and I really don't want to grind this thing for hours and hours. So on this event, I put all my videos out. I pretty much finished the event. I pretty much got everything. Um, and in the first day, and that way, you know, if there's a few more things that I want to get, I can come back and get them. But I really do hate the grind, and I feel like most people feel that way. Most people feel like, yeah, man, I'm really tired of a massive, massive, boring grind, because even though you can do it and even though it's kind of easy, it does get old. It gets really old. And the point of having a game, in my opinion, is it should be fun, right? So, yeah, I don't know what these guys, these game makers, are thinking. Like they want to give you a job or something that you don't get paid for, and then they want you to pay them too. So it's just stupid. Uh, I wouldn't do it that way. No way. I mean, if you look at the analytics on things like this, the best way to do it is to keep players interested and to keep players happy. For me, uh, there's been times where I've been really happy with the game, and as soon as you get where the game is real, real cool, then they change it up and they really mess it up. So here we go. The officer base one. Now you watch here. You'll see what I'm talking about. Remember, there's no shame in ending attack. I'm not going to end attack, but you can end attack. Um, and yeah, the difference on this one and the number two base on the recruit is I did not release the the mercs, and that would probably help you on the number two. As I just realized that's the difference, because this one has way more tanks coming, But because I released the mercs, they all shot their um, their rounds at the mercs, and that gives you like a little space of time where you can kill them before they can shoot again, because there's a delay in between their shots. So I had not. That's a mistake I made on number two for the recruit set. I should have dropped the mercs there, and I didn't. So, and you'll notice there I didn't drop all my mercs. I only dropped, I think, 9 or 10. Usually I drop 9 or 10 on this number one base, and then I save the rest of the mercs for the number two base if I need them. And sometimes I need them, and sometimes I don't. And but notice I don't have any damage here, right? But if you took damage right there, you can end attack. Or if they were overwhelming you and they're coming in too fast, you can end attack, right? I almost feel like I should have showed you ending attack here, because you can come back in and but I don't think I ended attack. I think I just, like 99.9% of the time, I just run through on this number one base, because it's so reliable that I'm going to get instant repair that I don't even want to end attack. But if something were to go wrong, you were lose control, or something wasn't right, or you accidentally had Ruby on, or you forgot to reload your mercs, and you go ahead and end attack. It doesn't matter. You get like an hour and a half to do this base, and the payout is so much better on this officer set. Or what is this, officer? Or yeah, officer set. So much better than on the recruit set. This last part of the base here is just turrets. There's no bunkers or anything back there, so I haven't actually looked at it. There might be bunkers back there, but nothing is shooting you. You just get very, very minor damage, so it's nothing really to worry about. You got a couple of overwatches, and that's like the main thing. But yeah, try to make uh, at least 5 platoons, but you have the ability. I know that they've given you way more. You could make 6 or even 7 platoons, and each platoon would just need 2 cannons in it, because 99% of everything you're doing is cannons. You do need one Gus here, or either a Gus or a just any cause mortar. So what you're going to do is you're going to drop a merc. Notice I haven't gone back and built any more mercs. Um, I think I did this whole thing without rebuilding any mercs. But every time you go back to your base, try and rebuild your mercs. So you're going to want to drop one merc up in the right hand corner. I'm going to give you some pro tips here, okay? Make sure Ruby is off, because if you don't take Ruby off, that merc is going to start coming forward, and he's just going to get killed. So then put him on defense, right? And if you don't like where he is, if you dropped him too close, you can move him. I'm going to move this guy a little bit further in the corner, and then I'm going to put him on defense, okay? Then I'm going to hit the number one key or any other key. See, I don't want him to continue to be there. So after I hit the number one key, now I got to show you a trick here. I am going to deploy 2 cannons, and when I do that, these, but don't deploy until the tanks have stopped accumulating in that far right corner. Otherwise, the tanks that are still moving will come toward you. Make sure that they stop moving. That's why I wait. Okay, now that they've stopped moving, now watch this. I'm going to bring these 2 cannons over here. Now these two cannons, um, they are targeting the two orange ghosts. Now I put those guys on defense because the you don't want those orange ghosts going forward and drawing somebody else's attention. And now when I come over with the Gus, they don't even look at the Gus. They don't even see the Gus. And now I leave. But sometimes if you come in there with multiple units like a Gus and um, if there's any movement after they're hit the first time, then they will come out. So that's why I do that with the cannons. You can use a Brother Devin. You can use the cannons or any high priority unit to get them to look over there, but they're still locked onto the merc in the far right corner. Okay, and then from here you just pick things off, and sometimes you're going to get free repair. Sometimes you're going to have to go back to your base and separate your units. And when you separate your units, you should have free repair, but sometimes you'll get instant repair out of here. It just all depends on how carefully you avoid um, getting that splash damage from these tanks. Because the tanks, by the way, um, and these things right here, these what are they called? Um, Not Cosmortar. These Kronos, they're my arch enemy. I hate them. These Kronos turrets because they slow you down and they do cause a certain amount of damage. Um, and they shoot so fast, it's very difficult to stay out of their path. Even with the orange ghosts, they do seem to want to target the tanks over the orange ghosts. So it's hard, and they outrange you, so you can't get out of their way. Um, so one of the tricks is, if you can, try and keep the orange ghosts off to the one side, and try to keep it on the side that they're shooting at you from. If you know what I mean, like if they're on the left side, try to keep your tanks or your cannons on the right side. Try to keep the orange ghosts in between you and those things that are shooting at you. Because when the orange ghosts get right next to your tanks, you're going to take all that splash damage. So if you can get them to be further away from your tanks, let them go. Like, I'm drawing them back in. Every time you control them and draw them back in, they get very close to your tanks. I only try to do that when I'm getting away. And then I try to see how I'm getting them outside and away from my tanks right now. That's what you want to do. You want to keep them as far away as possible from your tanks. And another thing I do is I use the move and shoot, which is you'll see the red X when you click on it. And that's a really good tactic, because the orange guys don't respond to that. The orange guys just keep on moving. If there's an enemy nearby, they will go for the enemy. Um, so now I'm just going to put it on aggressive. That way I don't accidentally leave it on ruby. And that's it for this base. And it's pretty close to instant repair. There is one platoon that I do have to send back to the base, but it is free repair. But I wanted to show you that, just imagine that I had a like 7 minutes damage on one, right? I don't, but I will leave one there repairing in my base so that I can show you. You can continue to attack while that one is repairing at your base, of course, right? I don't know if everyone does this or not, but it's really a good um, it's really a good tip. So we'll go ahead and move over here to this number one again, and Remember, I had one platoon, I believe, at the base that's not being used right now. It should be fully repaired. But then I got this guy here who has, yeah, he doesn't have that much damage, but it's going to be only a few seconds on that one, right? And then this other one, like 6 minutes worth of damage, right? So, yeah, that's a good example. That one I actually did have to leave there. I thought that was going to be free repair, but it's not. And then I bring my other platoon out that I'm not using, right? And and then we go ahead and we do another number one base. And then on this base right here, like I said, I've never taken damage on this number one base before, but on this particular instant, I did. And also, I forgot to mention, put a shock op on because that does help. And I did not have a shock op on, and that may be why I took some damage that I normally wouldn't take. Um, but it's no excuse now because now I have the shock op on, and I did take some damage here, which I really can't explain because I have never taken damage on this number one base here except for now. And it might have something to do with I didn't use that many mercs. But but what I could have done is ended attack because I started getting suspicious. I started thinking, boy, that looks like too much damage right there. And what I should have and could have done is end attack. And I keep saying that because I have to tell myself that because I don't want to end attack. I want to like be a big boy and do the whole thing without ending attack, right? But if you start to get suspicious and you think, you know, I better end attack so I don't have to go back to my base and repair, it just saves you time, you know. Because if you can do all your repair on your map, then it's just better for me, you know. So yeah, I hope you guys follow my advice and do end attack when you think you're in trouble, but not on the number two base. And if you're going to do the recruit base, not on the number three. Only on the first two on the recruit set, and only the first base on the officer set. Those ones, I think you've got like an hour and a half to complete those. And so, yeah, it doesn't hurt you at all. It actually saves you time to end attack because rather than going back and spending like a minute at your base, you literally spend 1 second to do an instant repair on the map. So you save yourself many, many minutes if you do these repeatedly over and over again, right? Um, my tac center or my tactical ops center is not complete. See right here, I was looking at this. I was going, I should probably end attack right now. And if I did, I'm sure this would have been instant repair because I had one more tank to deal with and then all those turrets, which aren't going to cause that much, but just enough to push it over the top. So anyway, I don't have my tactical ops center completed. Most of you probably do. I was not concentrating on that. I was doing my tech center. I was getting my hangar up to speed. But if you get your tactical ops center completed, there are extra bonuses in there, tactical bonuses or tactical boosts that you can turn on, which I can't because I don't have my tactical ops center fully built. But there's 2 bronze and 2 silver tactical ops boosts, and I just got my I'm on my last level for my tactical ops center, so I just got my first silver boost. You can see it up in the top left corner there. It costs 100 million thorium, and the other 2 are turned on by thorium and by there's one that's turned on by chemicals and one that's turned on by or there used to be one turned on by chemicals and one turned on by, let's see, silicon, yeah? And so, but now I think what I have is one turned on by chemicals and two turned on by thorium, and then my next one should be the one that's turned on by silicone or activated by silicone. Anyway, guys, hope this was helpful, and see you next time.